Hello, vinyl community, and welcome back to Mike's Vinyl Experience. Thank you so much for being with me here today. I hope each and every one of you are having a great day. Today, I want to take a look at one of the very latest Analogue Productions and Atlantic 75 releases of Daryl Hall and John Oates' Abandoned Luncheonette. This is one of my favorite albums, one of my really favorite albums of Daryl Hall and John Oates. Daryl Hall and John Oates, this is their second album that was released in 1973. So this is going back quite a while. The album contains the hit She's Gone. Now, when the album was released in 1973, it really didn't become a big hit. In fact, there really wasn't a whole lot on the album in 1973 when it was released that was really a strong hit or received a great deal of radio time. The single She's Gone was re-released in 1976, and then it really caught on and became a hit, and the album did quite well. And 29 years after its release, the album was classified as platinum, selling over 1 million copies. Really one of their, in my opinion, really one of their very best albums that they did, and I really like Daryl Hall and John Oates. I think I have most all of their albums, and while all quite good, this is probably would be my favorite of the Daryl Hall and John Oates albums. Excellent album. So let's take a look and see what Analogue Productions has done with this incredible Daryl Hall and John Oates Abandoned Luncheonette album as part of the Atlantic 75. Just really quickly, on the website, Acoustic Sounds, they don't indicate who did the remastering job on this, and it's not even on the hype sticker or anywhere that I could see or find on the album. But in one of Chad Kassem's update videos on the Atlantic 75 series, he did indicate that this album was remastered by Ryan K. Smith at Sterling Sound. So Ryan K. Smith is the one that's responsible for the remastering job. And true to form, like Analogue Productions has done with all of this Atlantic 75 series, the old style tip-on cover gatefolds that they're doing is nothing short of impeccable, at least in my opinion. This is just great representation of this classic album. Let me just show you the inside, the gatefold. Hope you can see that without any glare. Of course, it lists the songs and the lyrics. Over here on this side, it lists the songs along with the musicians that are on each one of the songs. I think that is just such a classy thing. When we look at the original, you'll see that that's very similar to what's inside the original, which was the album protective sleeve on the original. Let's take a look at the vinyl really quick. Of course, indicated, this is 45 RPM double album. So you can see there's an awful lot of dead wax there. 180 gram pressed at quality record pressing. So you know that you're getting an absolute quality job on the vinyl. Just overall, I think Analogue Productions, everything that I have purchased, and once again, I've not purchased all. I'm not a subscriber to the series. I purchased an awful lot. I've been purchasing some on SACD too, which I'm going to be doing a video on some of those upcoming. But I've purchased an awful lot of vinyl from this series. I probably should have considered subscribing because of the number that I have bought. But anyway, I didn't. But anyway, great album, great cover. The gatefold's amazing, and the vinyl is excellent as well. So let's talk about the sound on this wonderful album by Daryl Hall and John Oates, Abandoned Luncheonette. Analogue Productions is part of the Atlantic 75 series. I had such a wonderful time listening to this album. I've had an opportunity in the past couple of days to maybe play it 3 to 4 times. On my system, thoroughly enjoying my time. I love this album. She's Gone, of course, as we've talked about earlier, is really the popular song on the album, but to me, it's really not the best song by a long shot. To me, there's others on the album that are absolutely phenomenal. As usual, I took some notes as my listening so that I could actually describe what I'm hearing, and also that I could use as a tool as we compare this to the original, which we'll do here in just a second. But let's go through and just talk really briefly about the songs on the album and the quality that we're hearing, and just my impressions of this album as I'm listening to it. On side one, When the Morning Comes, excellent detail with overall balance. Bottom end is super clean and very tight. Voices seem to be three-dimensional. A really great song. Excellent dynamics, I thought. Had I Known You Better Then, which is the next song on side one, more of the same. Percussion is more detailed on this than it is on the original pressing, and I'll talk a little bit about that here in just a second. The next song, the third song on side one, is Las Vegas Turnaround. Now, this is one of my favorite songs on the album. This is just really a neat cut, and there's so many things in this song that I took for granted, or maybe wasn't listening to, or maybe didn't really hear on the original pressing. The voicing in particular on this cut on the Analogue Productions version is absolutely amazing. Drums are excellent with powerful impact. The tenor sax is clean and extended in a perfect way. Top to bottom balance and definition is superb on this incredible song. One of my favorite songs on the album. Jump on Spotify, jump on Apple Music, wherever it is that you listen to your music, and give this song a listen. Don't kind of just judge, whether you want to buy this album or not just because of, She's Gone, which is a great song. Not saying it's not, but there's others on this album that are absolutely, in my opinion, wonderful. Moving over to side two, She's Gone. Most popular song on the album, obviously. Just more of everything, and this is kind of what I wrote in my notes. Voices are three-dimensional, so clean, and it's so very dynamic. Top end just is open and very clear. And when I get to the comparison, I'll kind of explain that a little bit when we talk about the comparison, but a great rendition of a classic, really great song by Daryl Hall and John Oates. The next song on side two, I'm Just a Kid. Excellent song. This is another one of my favorites, another one that I think is one of the better songs on the album. Excellent guitar definition. Voices are super clean on this. Drums are striking in their clarity and definition and depth. Best song on the album is what I wrote. I just really got into listening to this song on the Analogue Productions version of this album. It just sounds dynamic as heck. Moving over to side three, another one of the great songs on it, the album, is the title of the album, Abandoned Luncheonette. Excellent detail. On the original pressing, I really wasn't aware so much of the harp in this song, but I could certainly pick it out on the Analogue Production version. It's noticeably more identifiable, I guess would be the proper word for it. The sax on this song sounds really nice as well. Very good. Next song is Lady Rain. Great music. Not one of my most favorite songs on the album, but excellent detail. Voices are super clean. Very dynamic, as is the entire album. Probably side four, Laughing Boy, is really one of the better songs on the entire album, in my humble opinion. The entrance to this song is just absolutely amazing. Daryl's voice is sounding dead center. The piano sounds absolutely clean and very well defined. And there's a flugelhorn in this song, and it sounds just incredible. Probably one of my other favorite songs. That's why I say there's many on here. many songs on here. It's not just She's Gone on this album. This song has really, in my opinion, some of Daryl Hall and John Oates' best work in songs that they have on this album. Last song, Every Time I Look at You, excellent. Now, this is a dynamic cut on the album. It's got great detail. Drums are rendered with proper impact. Guitars are clean with just excellent resolution. The banjo playing and fiddle sound really, really good. Excellent, excellent, excellent sound on this album. I just can't even begin to tell you. I kind of really, when I was thinking about this, as I start to compare it to the original, I really started to think about, you know, and you've heard this analogy, I'm sure, many, many times, where it's just kind of, rather than looking out the window, you open the window so that you're actually seeing it. You're not looking at it through anything that could potentially filter what you're seeing. Well, that's kind of really what I've been gathering with this album as it compares to my original. And to be honest with you about the comparison, the original pressing that I have of this album is absolutely stunning. This is a Presswell pressing from 1973. It's a great sounding album. If this is not one of your favorite Daryl Hall and John Oates albums, or just not one of your favorite albums, you can get an original pressing for very little money, and they sound super good. But really, the Analogue Productions version is just that analogy of looking out the window and you can see plain and good, but opening that window so that you're looking at the scenery or whatever it is that you're looking at it without any filters, without any obstacles in your way. That's what you're getting from the remastering that Ryan K. Smith has done and the Analogue Productions team has done with this album. In wrapping this review and comparison up, first off, let me just say this. Overall, the mastering is clean with excellent detail, very well balanced with no over-exaggeration from top to bottom. And the vinyl is quiet too, and I know that we've talked a lot about that in a lot of our other reviews of the Analogue Productions Atlantic 75 series, and it's true to form here. Some more of my observations. I'm taking notes listening to this album. This is yet another winner from Analogue Productions from the Atlantic 75 series. As indicated, the original pressing sounds really good. But, and if you're not, it's not one of your favorite, then the original pressing would be great. But if you're like me and you like Daryl Hall and John Oates' music, in particular the early stuff, and once again, I consider this to be probably my favorite, and I think one of their very best albums. What you get value for dollar for your $60 with the Analogue Productions version, I think it's a bargain. I really do. And I can't believe I'm saying that when I'm talking about a $60 record. But really, the work that they are doing when you consider the entire package, the old style tip-on gatefold type jackets that you're getting, the incredible pressing, remastering work, and quality of sound and quiet vinyl that you're getting of these, in my opinion, I don't want to say historic, but really great albums from the past. And to hear them in this quality, to hear them sound so good, it's like a total redo of the album, which I guess is really what it is. It's worth the money to me, and I am just excited as heck. Once again, I'll make this statement because I think it's important. Right now, we live in a great time where we have companies like Analogue Productions and many others that are out there reproducing and redoing, repressing, remastering some of the greatest albums from our past and bringing them back to life, sounding better than they've ever sounded before. I think this is really a neat time. Daryl Hall and John Oates, Abandoned Luncheonette, Analogue Productions, Atlantic 75. Highly recommended. Thank you so much for watching this video. Upcoming videos, I've got the new Steely Dan Gaucho UHQR en route to me. We're going to be doing a detailed version of that, as well as a comparison between a Mobile Fidelity gold disc, my original a pressing of Gaucho. I've also got the latest Pablo album that Analogue Production is doing that we're going to be talking about. Excited for that label. Pablo Music has done some of the greatest jazz musicians and greatest albums ever. The sound quality of those originals are incredible. So we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about the David Crosby new album that came out alongside this album. We'll be talking about that and comparing that to the Mobile Fidelity 45 RPM album as well. So we've got a lot coming down the road. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a great day.